Hello, everybody. I am super happy that we have a very excellent guest on today, Aliyah Fay, who I first met through Fiverr when I was starting to do my Mistmoor project and was looking for some very ethereal, mystical kind of singers and came across her profile. And she delivered this wonderful piece for the Eagle of Ashcroft Hall, and it was so wonderful. I came back to her again for the Black Dog of Mistmoor, or Beware the Black Dog of Mistmoor, which was absolutely amazing. And I loved it so much. I actually changed a whole bunch of things I was doing to create an entire Black Dog kind of wonderful things because you did such a great job. I mean, but besides for me, I mean, you're kind of an international person too. I think you're originally from Poland, but I think when I've been talking to you, you've been in Cyprus, then you went off to England, and then you're off now to LA. I think you've started your own studio, Quantum Wave Studio. I think you got all sorts of like recognition that you actually were taken to LA to get special trainings in school. You've been on TV, you know, been on Got Talent, Netflix, National Geographic. You're all over the place. You're like super creative and doing all these things. So that's why I thought it'd be great for people to kind of hear how you do your creativity and what drives all your kind of like visions about why you do what you do. And with that, Aliyah, I was just going to turn it over to you about to introduce yourself a little bit more.
So yeah, thanks for having me, Bruce, firstly. And yeah, you are pretty right about like me traveling across the world. Um, uh, yeah, I'm originally Swiss and Polish. My dad is Swiss. I was born in Switzerland, and then I lived my almost my whole life in Poland. Um, Then I traveled with my fiance to Cyprus. We built a music studio there. We had our quantum wave studio there. Then we came back to Poland, and then we finally got a scholarship at Musicians Institute in Los Angeles, and this is where I'm right now. So
Cool.
yeah.
I think also you have some Canadian roots. I think when we were chatting one time, you also somehow can have some sort of
Yes,
Canadian roots as
I'm
well.
my dad is also he's Swiss and he's Canadian. He was born in Montreal, so yeah, I'm in the process of getting my Canadian citizenship also.
Well,
Yeah.
and I have no idea if this ties into your work or not, but you're kind of like your music to me is kind of it's kind of like world. I mean, I get a lot of the kind of mystical, and again, I could be wrong. You'll correct me. You know, Celtic feelings and mystical feelings and so on. But it always felt like it's kind of like international, kind of like trans musical feel. And I don't know if
Yeah,
all your travels and all your worldly things tie into that or not.
I think I think it has like a great impact on me also from the beginning of my childhood. I've been very interested in different mythologies, cultures, folk tales from like around the globe, basically. So yeah, I like Asian culture. I like different kind of European cultures, Native American, like the I mean, there's so many beautiful stories and cultures from across the world. I take inspirations from all of them mainly. Also, I've been singing and playing in a folk metal band for many years and touring with it. So I think like the ethnic kind of fantasy world was always very close to me. Also, I read Lord of the Rings when I was 9 years old, I guess. So it had like a very huge impact on my whole life.
Yeah.
I was a great Tolkien fan from like the early stages of my childhood. And also it was a time when the movies came out, so it all played out very accordingly. So I think the ethereal fantasy world together with like mythologies from different kind of countries and places around the world really shaped who I am artistically and like how do I express myself in art, music. Yeah.
So when you were growing up then as a kid, then is your family also kind of on the creative side, or are you kind of like, hey, what's she up to? Like, this is interesting.
Oh, um, basically my dad is a nuclear physicist.
Oh, very okay.
My mom was a model and but they wanted to be artists, but the path, like their life path didn't let them there. So they were really interested also and supported me. When I was a child, they sent me like to music school together with my younger sister also. And yeah, I have like a classical musical education thanks to them. And I'm really glad I have because it's something that really like, I don't know, shaped me. And when I play or sing, it's just so native to me. It's like my basic language. I don't know how to say it, but it's like the best way I feel that I can connect with others or communicate with them. So yeah.
Well, they do say music's the universal language, at least in all the science fiction
Yeah.
shows as well, as like somehow music and sound seem to connect all the alien cultures and everything because somehow it transcends verbal
Language.
things.
Yeah.
The skies are green and glowing.
Even if I sing, like my favorite way of creating music is to improvise. And I don't even really need words because I can translate my emotions so accurately with like just the timbre of my voice, the way I sing, the way I express myself, that I think it's the most accurate. It's like the language of the soul for me, like, like sounds.
Oh, that's like I know you said you were like folk metal, which is also a really
Yeah.
cool fusion. What you're describing to me, and I could be wrong, is like jazz. Well, that's how they describe jazz, which is you kind of like have to improvise and you got your script, but you can go. I could be
Mhm.
wrong. Like maybe that happens in folk and metal too, the improvisation, but to me,
I
that seems jazz.
improvise with like ethnic, orchestral, like symphonic stuff. I do like every genre possible that's known to man. But yeah, I think like I have now a project with my fiance. He plays synthesizers. He improvises live on synthesizers, and I sing to it. I play flutes, like my different ethnic flutes that I own to it. So yeah, we create like a live improvisated like it's just songs that are like happening right now. So I don't know, it doesn't have to be like jazz. I mean, the concept is very similar to jazz, but
Mhm.
musically it's more like avant-garde electronic music with like ethereal vocals and like a little bit otherworldly, I would say.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, definitely. Well, and that's by the way, you didn't mention the band you're with. Or do you still have? Are you still with your band?
With my folk metal band, no, but I started a project, the project that got us the scholarship here in MI at MI in Hollywood is AURAQL,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's pretty new. We haven't released yet anything, but we'll be playing our first concert as AURAQL on this Saturday. So
That's
thank you
excellent.
very much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, but it's also interesting. You have this huge background too in, which I often find interesting. It's not like you just sing, and it's not like you just do music. You do all sorts of things. Also, the flute, which I think is one of your super specialties, is the flute. But what I was interested too is like you have it all tied into mythology and all these legends and things too, and then you have your classical music background, like all these things that seem to be allowing you to build into what you are doing. And along the way, then it sounds like you've met other people where you started bands. Like, did you find other kindred spirits along the way, or were you kind of saying, kind of hard to find people doing what I'm doing?
Oh, that's not an easy question. So basically, in middle school and high school, I had this friend who's, by the way, an amazing actress nowadays, and also like a writer. And she was probably like one of the first person I began to make music together. The other one was my younger sister, and with my friend from high school and middle school, we started to like write Celtic songs. I was like 12, 13, 14 back then. And yeah, she was like the first kindred spirit I like really met, and we just clicked together. I went to a music school, so she was also doing music. She is a violinist. And yeah, later on, I just searched for a folk band to play in. So I just saw them on internet. They were searching for either a piano player or a flutist. So I just hit them up, and yeah, this is how my journey started. And from this point on, I don't know, just people kept coming my way. I kept like meeting them. Of course, I know maybe it's not like super popular music like hip hop or rap, for example, which they are like very popular. But I mean, in my own niche, it's possible to find people who are like similar and like similar things that you do. So yeah.
Because I was going to ask, sometimes the creative journey is like kind of hard when you're kind of a little bit more unique, or as you said, you're not doing rap and you're not doing all the popular stuff. You're in your own kind of specialized zone. If that made it difficult, or people go, "What are you talking about?" Or sometimes you said, maybe I'll just throw it all in and become a dentist or something like that. But
No,
it always felt
no.
this was right. Like you always knew, like right from the get go, this is you. This is and
Um, like musically, I, I tried to study different things, but in the end, I just couldn't like. I would say so. If you can live without music, please live without it. Please be like please go be a dentist or just do like business or open like a company or something. Just, it's easier this way because the music industry, like it isn't really for the feeble mind, It's not really easy to get by. I mean, you have to totally like love it and just put all of your time, all of your work into it. And there are no weekends, there are no like you don't have free time. You just learn, you just create. It's like you have it doesn't have to be something you can just put on your shelf. For me, I just ended up making music because I couldn't not do it. Like I couldn't live without it. I was trying to study different things, but at the end of the day, um, it was just painful. I was coming back home. I had no time to create something, and I felt that things are being pent up inside of me, and I couldn't let them go. So I think for me, like creation is like a very basic thing. Like it's like physical things that you have to drink or sorry, go to pee or something. It's like very I have to create. Otherwise I couldn't really I mean, I would be probably totally like depressed or it would be very horrible for me. So if you are like this, you definitely have to pursue this career. But otherwise, if it's just like a hobby, do your own thing, have your job, and then music is like an addition because it takes your whole life. So yeah.
for other artists and creatives, they describe the same thing. It's like they got a compulsion, or this like I got to do this. It's just this thing inside me that has to
Yeah.
come out, and if not, they're
Yeah.
just not being authentic and everything goes off.
I'm thinking about it as like I don't really think I am creating stuff. I more think of myself as a like radio that catches waves like from nature, the universe around me, and I'm just like the transmitter into like the physical real world that just like the ideas, the inspirations, the feelings, emotions, and patterns, they just wanna I just I just feel I have to express them. I have to like give them out into the world. And I think it's very probably all of artists have something like this, that they are just like things are just like coming down to them and they just have the urge to birth it into like the real physical world in the form of sound waves or paintings or lyrics like poems or whatever they choose.
And so, do you have a particular process of how you go about doing things? Like, oh, I got a project, or it's just an idea pops in and then it's suddenly off to writing and notes and
Mm.
lyrics, or uh, like, how do you go about creating things?
Well, that's an interesting question because like no situation is the same
Mhm.
ever, I would say. Like sometimes it's just something like I set my mind to do, I start working, and then the inspiration comes like when I work. I don't really like have to wait, like for the inspiration to come down. Sometimes you just have to do something and then you just sit down and you just lay the first part and then like ideas come flowing through and you want to add this and then the lyrics come to you. So kind of mm, I worked on like opening this process where you put yourself like in a creative state, I would say. And
How
then
do you put yourself in the creative state? Do you have like a special space or a special ritual you do, like to get yourself in the mindset or things like that?
oh, I like to be like in like a state of calm, I would say, like a state. I don't like when I'm like worried about like material life things, like paying your
Mhm.
taxes, like
Yeah.
mundane stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean, people sometimes light candles or do things like this. I usually just need to kind of like go inside of me, like I'm I'm a very expressive person, but I'm also like an introvert. So I like to express myself, but I take a lot of my energy from my inner world, which I cultivated for many years. So I think it's mostly going inside of you, like looking inwards and feeling like a calm state, whatever makes you feel this connection to yourself. And from this part on, I mean, there's almost always something inside of you that wants to come out. So if you just open yourself up and let it flow, it just comes by itself. For me, at least, it's the case.
So, question is, and maybe it just flows as you're saying, but you have so many ideas that might be flowing in. How do you like say, how do I stick with one to produce something? Because I know a lot of people have lots of ideas and they start a project, then they start another project, then go left and start another one. They have 20 different things going on, but they never finish any because they're so excited to start the next thing versus actually, let me do this and finally edit it and draft it down to put out there.
Oh, yeah, you hit the nail. Like it's it's so true. I mean, I still have a lot of songs that are like unfinished, and I know I have to finish them, but I also have like new ideas coming up. So yeah, you're definitely right about this. So I I also have ADHD and autism, so those two also, especially ADHD, it keeps like grabbing my attention in different directions and actually starting things is easier for me than finishing them. It's weird because Yarko, my fiance, he finishes things very well. Like, and when we work together, we did like it. it was a long time before we really started to like work well together, because we're both artists, and artists, like they crash together, egos and stuff. But after some years, we really now, I think we have like this pattern where I just sit down, get my ideas flowing, things start to happen. And then he, with his like super technical and like, he's a mixing engineer also and producer. So he finishes things really well and polishes them up into like perfection. So we have like now a balance that I like start things and develop them somewhere. And then when I'm like in, I don't know how to arrange it further, like what to do, he just sits down and makes like creative things out of the things I did. And I think it's a nice like balance. But usually when I have to do like my own solo stuff, it's really, I have to take like a lot of energy to push it until like the coda, until the like finish line. So yeah, you're right about like the finishing thing.
Well, it's interesting you also raised the ADHD and neurodivergence
Diversity.
because so many people I talk to here have that. I also have a little ADHD as well. So I know what you're talking about and about the, oh, let me get start on a new thing. But I do think, as you described, having people to work with and your fiance, it's like that being an artist can be lonely too, but being able to bounce things back and forth to actually hone it down, that's cool. So it's good that you got a good balance in there. That works well.
Yeah.
But that yeah, and so I was going to ask too then, since I often ask people this and whatever you feel comfortable talking about how music might tie into like mental well-being for you and mental health in general. Because I often think like creativity and the arts seem to have some sort of associations with mental wellness, or sometimes not, or mental, sometimes upsetness. But I don't know if you have any comments on that.
Yeah. Oh, that's like a super deep and big topic you started here. So, yeah, to be honest, for many years, I've had like severe depression,
Mm.
and music was really like the one thing that I can say that kept me going, if this makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a thing that I could like unwind, like I could express my emotions, my feelings that I could not express any other way. Also because I'm on the spectrum and I'm neurodivergent, I think for me, music is a way of stimming and dancing also. So like I usually stim with like things
Mm-hmm.
to like I don't know, comfort my like for my senses to kind of feel okay and keep myself calm. And I think music became my, like, I would say, like my ultimate stim, if I can say it like that. So it's really something that, I don't know, I just got pretty good at it because I was doing it like the whole time since I was like 6, 7 years old. And it even got to one point that I was once very, very tired on one of my rehearsals with my metal band, and I was playing like a melody. I was playing it over and over, and then I, like, for 15, 20 seconds, I fell asleep playing the whole melody. Still, I was still playing it. And then I woke up because it didn't match the band anymore. And I was like, whoa, something's wrong. And I was like, what did I like play being like, I dazed off for a moment, but I still kept playing because it was so like
I've heard of
natural to
sleep
me.
talking and
It's like
sleepwalking. You're the
breathing.
first person who's ever sleep flute playing. That's
The
wild.
sleep floating, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's something I've been doing for hours every day since I was like 7, so it became very, very natural for me. I don't even like I don't think when I play or when I sing. It's just like pure, I don't know, feelings, emotions, and it's just coming out. I don't really engage. For me, it's even like a form of meditation. So
Mm.
when I don't sing or don't play for a while, I think there's like a lot of pent up things in me. I think I have to do it to feel better mentally also. So yeah, it's kind of like therapy for me,
Well, you were
I
saying
can
earlier
say it
too,
like
like
this.
how it's harder sometimes to verbalize things, and people,
Yes.
with neurodivergence, and sometimes it's hard to show emotions or speak. But you're saying like the music sounds like
Yes.
it's music. It could actually
Yeah.
do something in a way unlike other forms of communication.
Last
So
time I was like on a party like 1 week ago, and it was only like me, Yarko, and people I've never met before. So I was like, I'm super like shy around strangers. I mean, like talking with a person face to face, for example, like with you now, it's like super fine. It's nice. I like it. But when it's like a party, there's like a lot of groups of people. I don't really know how to initiate contact, and I feel very awkward in such situations. So after some while, I just got somewhere like in the back. I had my flute with me. I started playing and to the music that was playing on the party.
mhm.
And people just started to came and talk with me from like their own like perspective from themselves. So it was uh really maybe like a way for me to initiate contact with others through music. So I don't know, it was very helpful for me in this situation.
Well, that's excellent. And again, it sounds like, again, as you said, it's a core part of you. So when you connect to the core part of you, it makes you feel better. But it's
Mhm.
interesting too, like you were saying, you put out so much creativity and you're doing so much. Do you have a process of bringing like, where you're not going to actually create anything, but you're just going to take things in? It's just sort of like when you were
Yeah.
saying before, when you were young, you would read up. It's like bringing things in. Like I'm reading the Lord of the Rings. I'm not writing the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm reading it, or I'm reading up on
Yeah.
mythology. I'm just absorbing stuff and just feeling good, taking things in. Do you do stuff like that still?
Yeah, I still do stuff like this. Actually, I take in a lot. Like, now I even started to write my own book, like inspired by all those things. But I'm also, I, for a long time, I played a lot of World of Warcraft. I read
Oh,
some
yeah.
of the World of Warcraft books. Like um, it's a big part of who I am. Also, it's like it's another word that I really enjoy, a part of Tolkien's world. Like World of Warcraft is something I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the movie, I've played WoW for many years. Every new expansion is something new for me. Nowadays I don't have so much time anymore because honestly it's very time consuming. But still sometimes I feel myself putting on YouTube like World of Warcraft zones, playlist, and things like this because all the memories, all the feelings I got from playing back there when I play like elves and trolls. Those two are my favorite races. So,
Well, at least
um,
you don't have any troll noses, but you seem to have elf ears on today because
yeah,
you're saying like this is because you like
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. I pretty like, yeah. I had so many alter egos in those fantasy worlds that really. I also did like some Warhammer RPG games with my friends back in Poland, sessions like once a week, where my character was also like a elf mage. girl.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's also one of my like alter egos. I have a lot of them, honestly.
That's cool. Maybe that's
Yeah.
also why I said, "Oh, I got to work with you," because I do tons of role playing game stuff and write it up and create things like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
kindred spirit stuff. It sounds like again, it's like you have many different interests, but music is the core one, but all these
The
other things
main
come in
one.
too.
Yeah, I also like anime, like
Mhm.
anime culture. Like, mm, I watch a lot of anime, especially I like fantasy anime. Like, fantasy is like a core,
Hmm.
my core, I would say. So, yeah, fantasy anime. Also, like Chinese dramas, but only the like historical or the fantasy ones, like about like spiritual cultivation and immortals and heavens and like plum spirits or like dragons and stuff. I don't know, like fantasy from just across the world is generally like mm, very nice looking for me. Like I feel very attracted to,
Well, this goes
you
all the way
know,
back to your childhood again. It seems to be something that you've always loved, that whole
yeah,
escape and creating worlds. Well, I guess it's like world
yeah,
creation
creating
too,
work.
just like creating music. It's like we're
Yeah, I
bringing
started
worlds.
to
Yeah.
creating my own book now, my own world, and I really see that a lot of it is like inspired by things I've digested myself, but also by my own kind of like archetypes, like my relationships with my own sister, my parents. How is my own inner world shaped? Like, and I even started to create my own mythology, how the physical laws in my own world exist. And yeah, I think it's very nice. I think actually writing your own story, your own world, I think it will be something that people in the future will do. Also now with like VR headsets and everything, you like can create your own server, your own world with your own music, your own environment, your own story. It would be very nice to have people, you can invite people into your kind of your own world and then just visit other people in their own worlds. It would be very nice. I think maybe if we're going in this direction of creating our own worlds where I don't know, maybe I'm being very optimistic,
Well, it's like
but
the virtual
I
virtual multiverse of visiting all sorts of different
multiverses,
worlds.
yeah.
But it does bring into another segue of something I often ask all the people that come on board too, especially with the stuff you're doing and even writing,
Mhm.
is the whole advent of artificial intelligence coming in and how it might be impacting, music, writing, everything. And since you're involved with so many different aspects of that, I'm wondering if you're noticing what's it doing or what's your thoughts
Changes.
on it and so on too.
Um, so yes, actually, a lot of my peers, a lot of my friends were really like scared about the AI thing. And honestly, I haven't felt it yet, but I didn't really feel it as something, dangerous because at least for now, the music that you can create using AI sounds very, I mean, generic. I don't know how to say it. Like, it's, for example, I think AI could be a really nice help for the creative process for a human being. For example, create me a flowing pad, and then you can just export like a instrument and then modulate it and do things with it. It would be it's really helpful for this part of creating music. But I think what AI will probably not replace, at least not in the like nearest future, will be the live experience, as I said before, improvisation, where you just create music on the go, where you just improvise and people listen to you and you respond to them and you create like magic together. It's not something AI will be able to do. I think it can still do like curated like playlists, like generic music, for example. You write it a script, like
Mhm.
a prompt, and then it creates music you want. But I think it's not yet, and I don't know if it will be there, that it for example, you can write a prompt, create me music like Skrillex, and it will create you music like Skrillex, but it wouldn't create Skrillex if there would be no Skrillex before to reference to. I mean,
Mhm.
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
that's, I guess, part of
it
people's
cannot.
upsetness is sometimes it's taking an artist's work maybe and taking it without, then depends what the person does with what they get from the AI, I suppose. If they suddenly put their name on it and say it's mine, and they say, because I wrote a prompt and Skrillex, who's
Mhm.
he? No, it's me now. Versus what you're saying too, I think, is using it as a helper, not someone who's taking over the entire thing, but yeah, build me this, build me that. I will play with it. It just gets me some ideas to kind of do stuff that doesn't replace the human being in the center. It just kind of like helps the human. Versus, I think a lot of people nowadays, not gonna be wrong, they think they're musicians because they put a prompt in, just like people think they're visual artists because they put a
Uh,
prompt in, and then they think they are the artist because I was creative enough to come up with a prompt. Go, well, no, I mean that's I could be biased, but you might have a difference of opinion.
I think putting a prompt is like someone comes to you and says, "Oh, can you do such and such a song for me?" It doesn't mean you're an artist. Actually, it's AI doing the work, so it's not like you're the artist. I would
Mhm.
more say because AI is basically like just like a pure brain that's being fed informations and like I've been fed like classical music, World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings, and different mythologies. It also has been fed different things. And then it's like you're getting something in, like an input, and then through the prompt, you're directing directing it somewhere to put like an output for you. But I mean, there's also like the art of writing good prompts. I cannot deny that there isn't because
Yeah,
people are now learning
but
to
I would
write
say
great
you should
prompts.
be,
But
yeah. Then you can say
I wouldn't
I'm
say
an
it's
artist.
like making music.
Yeah, you say,
No.
well, then your art is prompt writing. You can say you're the great
Yeah.
prompt writer, not a musician, but you're a great prompt
Yeah.
writer. Because even though you can say, like, as you're saying, like the AI can be similar to like coming to you and saying, write this. There's something different
Hmm.
because, as you said, you're human. So you get to put also human stuff into it, which includes imperfection. Because I think also, well, I don't know if it's called imperfection, but non how to put it. I always consider a lot of this stuff sludge. It all sounds the same after a while because it has like whatever its samples are. Here's the sample guitar. Everyone has the same sample guitar. There's no variation in the sound of that guitar versus you'd have, versus when you're saying what you do, especially if you're improvising, you're actually interacting with humans. And therefore, it's never the exact same. It's always very
Yeah.
different. It never can be repeated exactly the same because each one's unique. I don't know if I'm making any
Yeah.
sense, but yeah.
Yeah, this makes sense. But actually, to me, I wouldn't say that the like tracks made by AI are really perfect. Like a lot of the melodies sound really like quirky and weird and aren't
Yeah.
really like me harmonies and like beat making. I think AI is already like onto it and it does it fine. So for the like beat makers and stuff like this, it maybe really is something, you know, dangerous approaching. But for like melodies and like main themes where you want to like express something, it's still like it's going around one note. It doesn't really have like a something to say because a melody, like it has something to say. It has to have like a meaning. And in AI, it's still like very quirky, weird, so it doesn't really sound human and doesn't sound ear-catching and convincing to me. So I don't think this is, at least for now, like a big problem. But yeah, I think those imperfections and also music that's like, I think like live performances will be probably in the future something new. And I'm also getting into this with Yarko and our project AURAQL, so that we can experience music with people together now in the moment. So it's every time it's like a totally different concert, a different experience. So it never happens twice the same way it does. So I think this kind of art, I don't think AI will be able to replace, honestly. So I think maybe music will change from people who just make, I just want to sound like Nirvana or something, who just do like generic things that have already been done, to people who are trying to express themselves in new ways and search for things that haven't been done before. I think it's really probably even nice for like the creatives, because it pushes them to do something more authentic than just do, like standard things that are everywhere.
That makes sense. And speaking which, then, Oracle, and do you have other projects? Like what's coming up for you? Like what are you working on now? Can you talk more about your studio, Quantum Wave, and like what are you up to in the here and now?
Quantum Wave has pretty much been left on Cyprus, but we're trying now to rebuild it here in LA, like
Ah, okay.
recreate our studio. And honestly, I mostly work from home now. And mm, could you repeat the question again? I got
Oh,
lost
just
in my
like yeah.
thoughts.
Oh, what's your current projects?
Ah, okay.
What are you planning to do over the next year? Like what's your big um, goals and things, and what are you working on, basically?
So, um, I'm on my last quarter in Musicians Institute. So the next 3 months, I'm finishing my school. Then I am 1 year on my OPT visa here, still in LA. And we will be probably going strong with AURAQL, with our project together with Yarko. Like this is our main goal right now. And of course, I will be continuing my own solo work also. Like, but I think AURAQL is like our main focus right now, and we still have no social medias going on. So we have to create everything, do like marketing, and we just want to create it like properly and with all things included. So yeah, and play as much concerts as possible to get as much visibility and people to hear us. So yeah, those are my, I think, plans for the next year.
So you have something coming up soon. Do you have anything else you're appearing in the next while, over the next few months, or anything else lined up in terms of gigs?
Yeah, the the gig I'm playing now, it will be like in 1 week,
Right.
Saturday in Hollywood, yeah. And also we already did like a whole album with AURAQL, 10 songs.
Oh,
And we're looking now for ways to release it. I don't know if it will be in like 1 month or 2 months, but we will try to release all the singles one after another and go on with the promotion campaign, all the recording of reels, TikToks, etc. We
that's
have
a
to
lot of
like
work,
post
isn't it?
at least a few times a week. So like being a musician and content creator and playing concerts, it's like a lot. And also I'm doing work also for other people, like you, for example,
Mhm.
found me. So uh yeah, I think like music takes like 99% of my time that I'm not sleeping. It's like music basically. So yeah.
Because I'm so old school. These singles, do you turn them into an album, or nowadays they just come out as singles, or is this project you said like of all these singles, is it like unified under still like one theme? It's like this is our first album. I don't know what happens nowadays.
Yeah.
If that still occurs.
Yeah, we already have like the album. It's called Star Seeds, and the songs are inspired by different cultures across the world.
Oh,
It's like
nice.
electronic music with ethnic influences from different part of the world, also like cosmic influences. Like one
Oh,
of the
this is
songs
out
called
or it's coming out?
it's coming out, and
Okay.
we're planning to release first like singles because you have to kind of the waterfall strategies. You release one single, you gain attention, then the other one. So you have still like things coming out so you can, like post about them online so
Right.
people don't lose their attention. And then after, I don't know, 4, 5, or 6 singles, you release the whole like 10 song albums incorporating all the singles from before. So they're like packed into one like catalog, I could say. Yeah, I
Okay.
think that is the most popular strategy right now for releasing music.
Well, let me know when they're coming out, the singles at least, and I'll just spread them around whatever networks I can as well.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
Oh, you're very welcome. That sounds quite exciting. Um, so we've been talking for a while about different things, and I don't know if anything's popped into your mind too about what would you tell, like, because what popped into my mind too is you love making all the music and doing it, but there's all this other stuff you got to do nowadays in the like uh all this social
Yeah,
media stuff. I guess I don't know, how does it
marketing.
work with agents and labels, or does that like get resource doesn't or like if you had something they would do it for you, or even nowadays you can't trust, you just got to do it all yourself?
Mm, wow, that's a super, you know, with labels at least, I would say they can really push you high up and further. But they're like labels are mainly investors. They don't want to invest in something like 20 or like more 30 years ago. Labels were more faith-based. They were like the A&Rs and the labels were like, wow, I saw this amazing band or this amazing artist. Like I really believe they can like do something amazing. And they would invest in those based on the beliefs of the person who would like believe in them. And nowadays, like there's so many things going on, so many music coming out every day, over 100,000
Mm,
tracks every day on Spotify. It's just very hard. Like they have to have something more than just a belief that you're like amazing. They have to see it's working. So I would say, and also like the deals made by labels, you have to be very careful because especially when you're like an uprising, super new and infamous or like not famous yet artist, um, they won't give you a really good deal. So it's better to go independent first, and then probably the labels will at least give you like a better percentage, better share. And I would say they are looking more for artists who are already developing or developed in some way. Like they already have their own following, people who come to their concerts, and labels then can push you even like further, like globally, like make you blow up. actually, but you still have to be recognizable, have your own fan base, be already like an established artist, so the label are interested in you. I guess so. So because an investor, they don't want to like invest money in something they're not really sure then they can make a profit. And unfortunately, yeah, labels are, or fortunately, they're like investors. So
I
yeah.
suppose then they say, well, lose the ears and sing this rock song or something like that. But who knows? I have no idea if they act
Yeah,
like movie studios and start telling you what to do. But I
I
guess being
mean,
independent allows you to do what you want to do.
if you have your own charm, your own way of doing things, and it sells well, and they see like, oh, it's a new thing. Oh, people are digging it, then maybe like they won't make you do something other thing because they want to keep you going with what you're like already creating. But I think for new artists who don't have like their style developed well yet and aren't really famous, they can do things like this and they will be, oh yeah, do this or do that. Like for example with Britney Spears, where she doesn't even sing that way, they made her sing with the like high pitchy voice, so because they thought like it will sell better. So I think, yes, it's mostly for like young people who want to be stars, that are really prone to such like behaviors from the label side. But for artists who are doing their own work and they're already having their own following, I think, because nowadays you don't know what blows up. Honestly, you have no idea. Like
Mhm.
different genres, different styles are like getting big day to day. So the labels also have to be out on watch and see what the young generation craves. So I think it's the most important thing is like to build your own following, to build your own fan base, and just grow the people that you're attracted to, that are attracted to you, to what you do. And I think it's like the baseline of like being a creator and an artist. And from then on, if you go independent or choose a label, I don't know, it's up to you. You have to know the risks though.
True. And I guess he said there's so much coming out nowadays. This is the thing that we're
Yeah.
drowning in content. It's like when there is
Mhm.
someone doing something unique like you, it's like, how do people get to even know you're there? Because they're drowning through all this stuff and algorithms
Marketing.
and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and marketing. But yeah,
Marketing.
but it sounds also like, just as you said, you like connecting with people. I guess as connection and word of mouth and organic growth is important too, as much as
Yeah.
social media. But I will definitely put the word out as much as I can, because I think what
Thank
you're doing is
thank you.
amazing. And you and your
Thank you
partner
so
seem to be
much.
doing really good stuff. So before we wrap up though, is there any words of other with I mean, you've given a lot of words of wisdom for, I think, new and upcoming artists to listen to, but anything else you wanted to share before we kind of wrap up with the audience about pearls of wisdom or anything else that popped into your mind as we've been talking?
Pearls of wisdom. I don't know. Let your imagination roam. That's my first like um I don't know, like the outer world, it's super amazing, but every one of us has also their own inner world that they can um care for, be there, and also express it into this word. I think we make this word better by expressing our inner world into this world. Like, this is something I am doing, and I really encourage others also to live out like their fantasies, their own mythic journeys from their inside out into the outside world. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good. I don't know if I'll use it as the title of this episode, but the mythic journey. That is really
Mythic
good. I
journey.
like it.
Wow, that sounds super nice. I like
Well,
it a lot.
you said it, so there you go. Well, thanks you, Aliyah, for taking the time to talk with us. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm sure anyone listening to this will also greatly appreciate it. And thanks again.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you so much for having me here.
You're most welcome.
Prashasha.
certificate in independent artist.